but I just am excited to welcome you guys to week 2, but it's really like week 1 of the series that we have going on called My Whole Self. Y'all, all right, we're going to do a little exercise just to let our walls down here today, because I'm going to tell you this series, if you allow it to, it's going to wreck your life. Okay, I'm serious. Like, there's just no other disclaimer that I can put before you besides this series will wreck your life so that your life can be put back together again, because there are so many opportunities when it comes to this business, and a lot of people miss out on what is possible for them here. And it works because, number one, entrepreneurship is not easy. Like, it's easy, but it's not easy. And so you have to completely shift what you've learned and what you've known and what you've been taught your entire life in order to really thrive in the area of entrepreneurship. And you can do it. I'm telling you, I'm a witness. I am someone who has a master's in professional counseling. I am someone who was working a job as a children's mental health case manager. I am someone who thought that I would be in the work field for the rest of my life. I've always had an entrepreneur spirit, but I just had no idea how in the world I was going to truly thrive in that setting. And so I'm telling you that at the end of the day, if God can do it for me, like, He can do it, and He will do it for you. And so in this moment, I want you guys right now to just get your heart and your mind together. Okay, get your heart and your mind together. And I want you to even just drop this in the comments or say it out loud. So drop it in the comments or say it out loud. I'm about to be real with myself. Say that, or drop it in the comments. I'm giving myself permission to be real with myself today. Ain't no faking today. Okay, we're not faking today. No fakeness. Hashtag it's the realness for me. Okay, like, we're going to be real today. No faking. No faking. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with myself, because it all starts with being real with yourself. And if you can be real with yourself, you can extend that to other people. But you cannot. I think so many times we have so many levels of expectations for other people that we're not even willing to put on ourselves. So today we're going to be real with ourselves. And so give yourself permission today to just be real, even if it's just for this hour, to be real with yourself. All right, y'all, this will not work if you're not willing to be real with yourself. And I'm going to do the evaluation with you. Even though I've done this before, I'm going to do it with you today. So I want to title this week, it's called, who actually did the Joel Osteen pre part? Who did it? Who watched it? Okay, good. Shout out to Kamara. Who else did it? Who watched it? If you have not watched it, yes, Javon, yes. So if you have not watched it, you need to go back and watch it. And after you watch it, you can be like, oh my goodness, y'all, I prayed and I asked God, I said, please, like, give me confirmation and give me direction. And man, that Joel Osteen was everything that God had dropped on my heart about this. And so this is called Stop Pretending. Okay. Like, stop pretending, like, stop pretending. And you're like, Rachel, like, I'm real. I'm not out here pretending. Well, we're going to see. At the end of this call today, we're going to see, have you been pretending? Who can say on here that just being real, like just being real with yourself? Like, yeah, there's a lot of areas in my life where I pretend. Do we got any honest people in the house that can say, okay, yes, I pretend in a lot of areas in my life. Like, I pretend, I see it as me acting as if, like, I'm acting as if, and that's fine. You can walk in faith, you can speak in faith, you can live in faith, but at the end of the day, you need to know where you are, because God can never pretend. He can never bless who you pretend to be. And I've heard that over and over and over and over and over again. And I was like, okay, Jesus, like, this is straight up. A lot of people come to this business and you want God to bless who you're pretending to be because you're embarrassed about who you are. That is a high level of honesty right there. When I came to this business, I was embarrassed about my current situation. But it wasn't until I decided to be real with myself and release myself from that embarrassment that God started to change my life. I can be honest. I don't know if you guys can be honest, but I was embarrassed about the fact that I had a master's degree, a master's level position. Like, the position I was in at work, I had to have a master's to have the position. And I still could not pay my bills. It just didn't make sense to me. It was like, I did all these things and now I'm still broke. I'm still broke. Like, I'm still a paycheck in between paycheck. I still put $5 in my account. I still fill my tank only on payday. I still wish I had food stamps, but I don't qualify. Like, for real. So that can be embarrassing. And you're like, well, you want me to go out here and tell people about this business and about what it can do for them, but I am in such a struggle bus place that I don't feel like I can help other people change their life. Drop a 1 in the comments if you felt that before. But do you know that your struggle bus tendencies is what's going to take you to ambassador? It's kind of what Eric Thomas was just saying just a second ago. The ability to the fact that you were on the struggle bus, or that you're on the struggle bus, is what makes you relatable. And as people watch you walk off the struggle bus, but some of us won't be honest because we've been pretending. So you out here acting like you're not on the struggle bus when, like, bruh, we can see you're on the struggle bus. Like, if I'm on the struggle bus, I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know? That's the question. Do you know, and will you be honest about it? So we are going to do a self-evaluation today in preparation for week 3. Okay, y'all ready? Because I'm about to get in y'all business, and y'all may not like it. Okay, and it's okay, because we're about to go through this together. If you ready, drop ready in the comments. If you ready, if you're ready, drop ready in the comments. I want you to go get a pen and paper. You should have had that already, but I'm gonna give you a little moment to go get a pen and paper so that you are prepared, and make sure it's a full sheet of paper and not a little scrap, so that you can actually, in a piece of paper that you can actually reference later. So preferably let it be inside of a notebook, so you can come back to it next week. But I'm about to get in your business. Actually, you about to get in your business, because I ain't seeing it. So you're about to get in your business. Okay, ready? Yes, come on. Y'all say y'all ready. So I believe in you. I believe your word, because you are a trustworthy person. Okay, about to get in your business. All right, so we're gonna do a self-evaluation. So you're gonna evaluate eight areas of your life. 8. And all these areas may not apply to you. All right. But you're going to evaluate 8 areas of your life. Now, when you're looking at these evaluations, I'm going to ask a series of questions, and I'm going to have you rate yourself after you answer the questions, because I think a lot of times we rate ourselves higher or lower if we're trying to be mean to ourselves, which a lot of us are. We're more critical or analytical when it comes to our own self than it comes to other people. It's hard to extend grace to ourselves opposed to the grace that we extend to other people, because we have higher levels of expectations for ourselves. It's either that there's the extremes, high levels of expectations, or no expectations at all. So the first thing we're going to evaluate, anybody guess? It's your money. It's your money. Okay. Money is the first area. Oh, all right. So these are the questions that I want to ask you when it comes to money. All right. Just be honest with yourself. Do you have a savings account? And you don't have to, this is not for you to write in the comments. This is for you to write down. So you can write savings account, yes or no. Savings account, yes or no. Is there money in your savings account? There's a difference between having it open. That's, praise God. That's a blessing. But do you have money in your savings account? So savings account, yes or no. Money in there, yes or no. And then I want you to leave a spot. If you do have money in there, how much money do you have in there? And you don't have to look right now, but just if it come back and say, if you need to go look, say how much money you have in your savings account. Now, here's the question. Do you have an emergency fund? You like, wait a second, Rachel, I thought my emergency fund was the same as my savings account. It's not. Do you have an emergency fund? And y'all, this is not for you to feel bad. This is just for you to evaluate. Please do it. Please do it. I wish somebody would have did this with me before I started making money. I wish. So please just do it. All right. Do you have an emergency fund? Yes or no? How much is in your emergency fund? If you don't know, that's fine. Look at it later. Just put it so you can know to look at it. Third question, how much money is in your bank account? Write it down. We're just looking at ourselves. We're just seeing how healthy, where our health is at. This week, when it comes to your finances, I want you to go through and see how much money, put it over to the side. I want you to look through your statement and I want you to see how much money you spend on eating out. I want you to write down every bill that you pay, bill. And I want you to go through your banking statement to see this. If you're still out here paying stuff in cash, it may be time to switch that up so you can track your money. How much do you pay in bills? Some people don't know. I mean, I know if I didn't know, I know I didn't know. Like how much prior to Brianna truly tracking how much we had in bills, it was just bam, I didn't know. How much do you pay in bills? How much do you spend a month in eating out? How much do you pay in bills? How much do you spend in money eating out? Spend in money. How much do you spend in eating out? So that's stuff that you can do later. How much cash do you have on you? I'm not, this is a growth area of growth for me, because if I have cash, normally it's gone. It's gone. So something I had prayed on. All right. So that is your evaluation when you're looking at your money. Now, for those of you guys who have seen your numbers and you're just being honest, how many of y'all like, I would rather not look at this? Can we be honest in this moment? Because I just know somebody feeling alone. Is anybody, can you drop a 1 in the comments if you would rather just not look at it? You just would rather not. I just would rather not. This is making me uncomfortable. I don't want to look at this. Now, some of y'all just got your stimulus checks. So first of all, let me tell you, and your taxes. Okay, I know stimulus checks and taxes are dropping. So number 1, pay your tithes. Number 2, what you're going to do with your stimulus checks, even if you're behind, because you were already behind on your bills, you're going to build your emergency fund. All right, go put $1,000 in your emergency fund and make arrangements on everything else. You need to have your emergency fund regardless of being behind on your bills. So unless you at straight repo where they finna come get your stuff, put $1,000 into your emergency fund. And it's an emergency fund. It's not a savings account. It's an emergency fund. So you put boundaries and limitations on that. But I'm grateful that you guys have decided to be honest. Okay, so you're going to evaluate that later. We'll talk about that later. But definitely look at that for what it is. It's going to change, okay? It's going to change. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to. We're going to redo this evaluation in about 6 weeks, and you're going to have better numbers. So actually write it down and do it. Number 2, and if it don't apply, let it fly. And I am not talking about relationships here. I'm saying marriages. I'm speaking to the married people here. So give me a little moment if you're not married. The second thing is marriage, okay? Second thing is marriage. Second thing is marriage. So write it down. Number 2, marriage, be like NA, okay? We'll talk about relationships here in a second. Marriage. Oh, what is the current state of your marriage? And I wish that someone would have given this to me. And actually, I'm grateful to have insight when it comes to marriage. But number 1, do you have marital mentors? Do you have a couple with wisdom who is covering your marriage and you are accountable to? That's a yes or no. And if you do not, you are going to find someone over these next 6 weeks. You're going to find someone. Do you have marital mentors? Write it down. Number 2, do you have time for just y'all? So, everybody says date night. That's fine. A scheduled time. I said this before, but before the kids, it was just y'all all day, every day. It was just y'all. You cannot go from all time together to no time together and think that your marriage is going to thrive. Do you have time for just y'all? Yes or no? If it's no, of course, you're going to schedule a date night. It is going to be weird. It's like, we got to schedule a date night. Like, yes, you have to schedule a date night. It's that you're going to have to put it on the calendar. Number 2. Okay. And number 3, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being in heat before marriage, where is the passion in your marriage? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being in heat before marriage, where is the and be honest, like, just be real. All right, number 3. Really, do you have lunchtime? That's a joke. Number 3, don't have lunch, because lunch leads to kids. All right, number 3, your business. We're going to say just your It Works business, because I know there are other business owners on here, and you can do this evaluation for other businesses that you may have. But number 3 is your business. It Works. And if you're new, it's okay. You can still do the same evaluations, because you have all these areas of your life too. And if you're just starting, the evaluation may look different than somebody who's been here for 8, 9 years, All right, number 3, business. Do you ready? Do you invest in your business monthly? Yes or no? If yes, how much? Feels like surgery. Like all the pre-surgery questions. Yep, you gotta go through all the questions. That's so funny. If yes, how much? You should know this. Do you spend $200, including your website? Do you spend $140 a month on your business? How much do you invest into your business every single month? And I'm going to tell you this: small investment, small reward. Now, does money have to necessarily be the only way you invest in your business? No, it's not. So monetary, do you invest? How much? So are you running your auto shipment? Is your website declining? Because if your website is declining, that might mean that you may need to take a picture take a look at the whole picture to figure out why $20 isn't in your account. Especially if this business is a priority. Now, I was supposed to tell you guys today, we got paid. If you do not run your auto shipment on the 1st or in the first week of the month, you need to save double the amount of money. So run your auto shipment and then save your auto shipment. You need to save, does that make sense? You need to save double the amount of money so that you still have auto shipment money here, because we're on a 90-day fast. We're starving our flesh here. Stop saying yes to eating out. Stop saying yes to new clothes. Stop saying yes to things that aren't your needs so that you're able to actually run your auto shipment on the 1st. So double the money. Y'all, does everybody get that? Like, you're saving double the money. So you're running your auto shipment and then you're saving your auto shipment money so that you can run your auto shipment on the 1st. That's a sacrifice. Yes, it is. Some of y'all it ain't, because y'all got that stimmy or them taxes. So remember to invest in your business. All right, so save that. So that's number 1. Number 2, what time are you spending on your business? You may not know this, but I want you to track it all week long. Some of you guys, I'm gonna be honest, you need to keep a diary for the next week. And every single time you do something for your business, write it down. Because it might be that you think about your business or you think about growing your business more than you're actually doing the things that grow your business. Are you really doing income producing activities when it comes to your business? If what you're doing does not translate to money, you might need to stop doing it or doing so much of it. For example, some people become personal development junkies or spiritual development junkies and be like, I'm building my business. And all you did was just listen to personal and spiritual development all day, but you did not send one message. That is not a business that will grow. You can grow your mind all day, but if you do not apply the things that you are doing, there's a problem there. Y'all, the money is in the messaging and the connecting. Your posting is just your resume. Did you know that? So you might say, well, my resume is on point, but my money not on point because my messaging is not on point. So this week, I want you to keep a diary. What are you doing for your business? What do your receipts look like? Are you willing to track it? Because tracking it is what actually will, and let me tell you guys, Galatians 6:9, like at the end of the day, you cannot grow weary in well-doing. Just because you're not seeing the results that you want to get does not give you permission to not do it. All right. You don't have permission to not do it. If you do a TikTok, write it down, like on whatever the date is, one TikTok done. Oh, I engaged for 30 minutes. And then be honest, I engaged for 30 minutes and only commented on 5 people's posts. You'd be like, oh yeah, I engaged for 30 minutes today, but only left 2 comments. No, you were scrolling, boo. Like you was not engaging. Can you be honest with yourself, y'all? Like you said it at the beginning. Can you be honest with yourself? I went online to post and ended up scrolling on my timeline for 20 minutes. I went on to send 100 messages and one person wrote me back and I sent 5 because I didn't put my phone on do not disturb. My mama called me in the middle of sending messages and then I forgot because then my kids started crying and I needed to feed my kid. And so I said I would get back to it. Can you be real with yourself over this next week when it comes to evaluating your business? I hopped on a power hour, but I really was just on there listening. I didn't send any screenshots because I don't like accountability. I didn't ask for help. Or I did ask for help. Keep a track of it. Business. Number 4, your relationship with Christ. Your relationship with Christ. It's crazy because the leadership, we had a conversation about this today. And so as I'm thinking about my questions here, this is a real one. And this can be like a ouch type situation. Even for myself, like this is an ouch situation because I want to preface this by saying this is not to condemn anyone. Like this is not. And so if you feel condemnation, I'm just rebuking that right now in the name of Jesus, because that's not why we're here. Where conviction brings change. And when you feel conviction, you have 2 choices. You have the choice to feel the conviction and say, okay, I can do better. Or you have the choice to feel condemned and to feel judged. Like, is she judging me? Like, no, nobody's here to judging us because my Bible says all have fallen short. So Rachel too, every day. Okay, Lord, every day, save me, Jesus. So as much as y'all think that I got it together, not at all. Okay, nobody really has it together, right? We just strive for the excellency that God has placed before us and use all the skills that He's taught us, and we just get stronger along the way. So my question in this moment is, out of the top 3, I'm gonna give 3 because some of y'all say y'all don't talk to nobody. Out of the top 3 people that you talk to every single day, including yourself, I'm gonna give y'all 5. Lord, I just heard that one. God ain't even in the top 5. So out of the 5 people that you talk to every single day, where is God on this? Who do you talk to the most? Most of us, if I can be honest, it's yourself. You talk to yourself the most. So where is God on this top 5? Who do you talk to the most in your day? Some of y'all might be thinking like, I would probably, like, if I give y'all honest evaluation, it's probably me, my husband, then God. I'm not even, that's honest to God truth. It's probably me, my husband, and then God. And so I have to look at that and say, no, God is number 1. And so instead of me talking to me, I talk to God. You know how you be talking to yourself and running things through yourself? I'll be like, we're going to have this conversation. I'm not even going to have this conversation with Rachel. I'm going to go ahead and divert this to God. So where is he at on the top 5? Is he even in your top 5? Can he come into it? Because they say you're like the top 5 people that you hang with. You know that one of those top 5 people are you? You're in your top 5. I don't hear people say that often, but you are in your top 5. Did you know you're in your top 5? Because you talk to you the most. So that's the question. What does your devotion life look like? Like, are you a Bible reader? Are you a reading plan person? Are you a devotional person? Are you a Bible study person? Like, what does your devotion life look like? So devotion is devoted. So that's like you giving, opening up space to learn and to grow. Do you just read your Bible and don't even understand it, but you do your due diligence and just read it for the day? Do you give God 5 minutes? Like, this is a broad question, but what does your devotion life look like? So if I was going to give this evaluation, I would say that typically I do my devotional for the day. I'm doing the team devotional right now. I'm in the middle of a Bible study. So I'll do my Bible study lesson, or at least start my Bible study lesson. I read a chapter from the Bible a day. At our church, we have a chapter that we read a day, or chapters based on the week that we read a day. And so I try to give myself time to do that and sit still. I don't know. You might be a praise and worship person. What does your relationship look like with him? It can be null and void. You can be like, I talk to him in the car, I talk to him on Sundays. We talk when I'm going through. Like, just be honest. Be honest. All right, let me get through this. Number 5, mental health. When you are feeling anxious, depressed, frustrated, all these different things, do you have a solution? Ooh. Do you know from somebody, and this is just background, I'm somebody I have a bachelor's in psychology and a master's in professional counseling. It's something that I studied. Do you know that most people, I would say 99% of the world, have mental health problems? And I would 99.9, okay? Everybody, in some way, shape, or form. You'd be surprised. And mainly it's the people who are helping the people with mental health problems that have the biggest ones. And that, I know that from being in the field. Your therapist should have a therapist. Did y'all know that? Like, your therapist should have a therapist. So or do you even look at it? Or do you just go through the cycles? Like, I'm just depressed today, I'm just going to drink. I'm just depressed today, I'm going to go smoke. I'm just depressed today, I'm going to binge Netflix. Do you give into your mental health deficiency? And I say deficiency, but I mean, to each his own. Everybody's going through something. So when you experience feeling overwhelmed or feeling, and sometimes you don't know what to call it, right? Sometimes you don't know what to call it. Sometimes it's like, well, I just feel something, but I don't even know what it is. Like, I just feel overwhelmed. Like, is it about the past or about the future? If it's about the future, that's anxiety. If it's about the past, that's depression. Sometimes you don't even know what to call it. Let me tell you, Jesus will fix it all. I'll tell you that much. I know you like it. I'm telling you, he will, if you submit it to him. And this is, we read this in our Bible study today, right? Talking about worry. But let me tell you, just because you give it to Jesus doesn't mean you don't deal with it anymore. Oh, okay. Just because you give it to Jesus does not mean you don't live with it. Can I tell you, you have to every day, it's a decision. It's a decision. So where's your mental health? And I want to say this on a scale of 1 to 10, and this is just an honesty thing. Write it down on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I have barriers in place, supportive. I have support in place. Yes. And that's 10, meaning like I go to therapy every week. I'm on medication. I don't know, whatever it is that you have in place for you. That's 10. Like it's something that I address normally. Or 1, I'm struggle busting it. Like every time I feel anxious, I go get high. Where you at? From 1 to 10. Where are you? No, y'all don't have to share it. 1 to 10. If you feel overwhelmed, do you know exactly what to do? A healthy way to resolve and deal with this. And honestly, like, just be real. Like I'm telling y'all, you could not get free if you're not real. Most people are not at a 10. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I'm not even at a 10. I'm not. And my husband can attest to that. And I have a lot of supportive factors in place. It is like the 10 is you saying you cream of the crop. Like you don't need any type of help in the area of mental health. So do an honest evaluation with yourself. Where are you at? Do some of y'all need to figure out if you can find a therapist this week? Did some of y'all used to be on medication and you stopped taking it? Did some of y'all need to order some Confianza today and start taking it every day? You can take Confianza several times a day, and it does work. I ain't saying it's as strong as the medication stuff, but it does work. So if you need to get up and take take your Confianza like it's your medication, then do it. Get up every single day. It's a natural way to help with relieving that stress that you have. All right, next one, fitness. Hey, didn't know that. Let me see you do that yoga. Number 6 is fitness. Fitness. You might be like, girl, I don't need to be fit. I don't need to move my body. I don't need to. That's fine. But yes, you do. Yes, you do. What do you, do you focus on your fitness? Yes or no? That'll be your first question. Do you? Let's just be honest. Do you focus on your fitness? Yes or no? Is your fitness a non-negotiable? Is it a non-negotiable? Yes or no? Write it down. Is it a non-negotiable? Like, is it like eating? Like, it should be a non-negotiable like food. Like, just like you have to feed your body every single day, it should be that you have to do something. Y'all, there are 5-minute workouts on YouTube. I love Peloton app, and you can do it for free for a little while. I love it because there is the variety of different things, but Peloton is not the only one that has it. I know Apple Fitness has it. There's a lot of different apps that have 5-10 minute works, but like I said, Nike, yep. But I will tell you guys, it's free on YouTube. You can literally go on there and find a 5-minute workout. And I'm going to tell you, whoever told you that 5 minutes was not okay, 5 minutes is better than nothing. You don't have to go on an hour walk every day. And I know a lot of times we psych ourselves out to believe that if I don't walk for an hour today, I can't walk for 5 minutes. Like you could literally walk down your street and back, and that is better than nothing. You cannot do nothing. That's a whole bunch of negatives, but y'all get what I'm saying. Do something. It should become a non-negotiable. You could do 10 push-ups and 10 sit-ups. Just make it a non-negotiable for your day. So is it a non-negotiable? Yes or no? You don't have to work out every day, but you can. You can. Do y'all know millionaires work out every day? They work out every day. It's just a part of their life. Like my good friend Erin, it's crazy stuff. She gets up at 4:45 every single morning. And she goes and she works out. 4:45 every single morning, does her devotion and goes works out. So that means before your kids. Now me, I work out with my kids sometimes. Like they just be in the midst of my workout. But sometimes you don't have space and time to do that. But your lunch break, can you take a walk? Can you take a walk during your lunch break? Can you eat for 15 minutes and then walk for 10? I want you to write down your commitment this week. Your commitment, not mine. You may not be going, I mean, don't put yourself out there where you're putting yourself at a place where you'll fail. Don't say I'm gonna work out 7 days this week. So I want to know how many days, or I want you to write down how many days you're going to commit to making it a non-negotiable. How many days? How many days are you going to commit to making it a non-negotiable? And what are you going to do? YouTube, Peloton, Nike, walk up and down your stairs. I don't know, without stopping. What are you going to do? Write it down. How many days are you committed to, and what are you going to do? Who knows that they can be more committed when it comes to their fitness? Drop a 1 in the comments if you know, like, you can be more committed. Me, somebody who works out 5-6 days a week, I can be more committed. Me. It's something special when you always know that you are always growing. There's always area to get better. If you think you're at the best of everything, God, shift your mind. For real. Because we are ever evolving and there's always another level to grow. Always. All right, y'all, guess what's next? Nutrition. Man, like, what does got to do with business? Well, let me go back to fitness real quick, but nutrition is next. Fitness, y'all, do y'all know, statistically speaking, you're moving your body will help every area of your life. Statistically, it will help your mental health. It will help your clarity, your business. It will help every area of your life. It will help your marriage, okay? It really will. All right, nutrition. Is that a cuss word? Because it was for me back in the day. It was like, nutrition, like that's trifling. I'm not finna eat that vegetables. My grandma used to get on my nerves. Whole grain, vegetables, Weight Watchers. Like, grandma, no one cares about that. Okay, no. No, I love vegetables too, but all that other stuff she was doing, it was like, you're taking away from me. Yeah, I read something this week. It said it's not about taking away, and then somebody said it this morning in the leadership meeting. It's about adding to. There is, I forgot. I pray God brings it back and I can share it with you guys. There, and maybe it was in our devotional. I can't remember. But if you focus on adding good things to your life instead of taking things away, it'll be easier to switch. So what can you add to your life this week that is of nutritional value? So for example, I use only whole grain noodles isn't that funny? Whole grain noodles in our house now. So for spaghetti, and I believe that if you can cook, You can make whole grain noodles taste good. So the real question is, can you cook? I'm playing. All right. So can you, I want you to think of one thing that you can add to your week that will eventually eliminate everything else. So like we don't do any of the other noodles. I don't even buy them anymore because now I use whole grain. For example, I'm gonna tell you another swap that I have. I only buy kettle chips. I won't buy the other type of chips anymore. So I added kettle chips only to our regimen now. And if you think they're that much expensive, they're not. They're really not. Especially if you go to Aldi's. They have less sodium. They're processed differently. So what is one thing that you can add to your week and take away? Write it down. I got another thing. Are the things that you put in your mouth or you allow your kids to put in their mouth, do you feel good about it? And some of y'all like, I've never even really thought about it like that. I never thought about it like that. I didn't think about it like that. Like I even think about my kids love Pop-Tarts right now. And I'm trying to figure out like, as much as Pop-Tarts aren't like awful, like, yes, they are. Yes, they are. And if they're not consuming a lot of good stuff, then that ain't good. So if you raise the standard for yourself, y'all, you will raise the standard for your entire family. My dog don't even eat just random dog food. My dog eats healthy dog food. I remember I was at Cammie house, and those of y'all who don't know, Cammie is our field development, senior field development representative, or whatever her title is. And she's also the godmom of my kids. And y'all, I remember when I was over her house, you learn so much being around rich people. Y'all, their minds are just totally different, right? And so I was at her house, and she like, all right, Frenchie and Kanan, it's time to eat your food. And y'all, she goes into her refrigerator. And I'm like, who gets dog food out the refrigerator? Like, who dog that fancy? She goes into her refrigerator. They only eat at certain times, and they got like gourmet food. And I'm sitting here like, my food not even that gourmet. Like, I'm not even eating that good. Her dog's eating better than I'm eating. But how you do anything is how you do everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you eat trash, you're going to feed your dogs trash. You're just trying to get some food. Maybe you shouldn't have a dog if you can't afford the food. Ooh. Maybe you need to give that dog away so that you can get your life together, because you're really hurting that dog. And I think a lot of times that just comes on us. Come on, y'all. We just being honest, okay? We're being honest. A lot of times this just comes on us because a lot of us have kids before we're able to take care of ourselves. And so when you have a kid before you could able to take care of yourself, you just are floating with the wind, right? You're just doing anything necessary. My son used to eat so much McDonald's, and we thought it was like a reward. We're going to McDonald's. I can feed you McDonald's today. And it was like, why are you feeding your kid trash like that? Like my son now be like, I want McDonald's. I'd be like, nope. Yeah, nope. No, we're not doing that. But it'd be like, okay, yeah, let me just feed you so I can get on with my life. And you start doing the same thing to yourself. Well, I just need to provide dinner for tonight, so I'm just going to go grab whatever. Instead of having boundaries and limitations of things that you're just not going to buy because it costs more money. How much does it cost to feed your kid at McDonald's or your family at McDonald's? And then how much does it cost to feed your family at Breadco? Or I'm sorry, y'all don't have Breadco, y'all have Panera. but it's from here though. Okay, it's from St. Louis, so it's called St. Louis Bread Company, but they switched it to Panera for you guys. Okay, so Panera, how much would it cost to feed your family at Panera, and how much would it cost to feed them at McDonald's? Can I just give y'all a rule of thumb? If you can't afford Panera, you shouldn't be eating out. Go home and cook. Now, I don't mean that every once in a while. I ain't judging. Like, if you want to get your people McDonald's, I'm not saying that we won't ever eat McDonald's, but that's something that you need to evaluate and kind of look at as a general thought when it comes to your life. Because are you even budgeting? It goes back up to the finances. Are you budgeting? Are you budgeting? That's a cuss word too. We're going to talk about that. All right. And the last one, y'all, is parenthood. I think this is an area that a lot of us feel like we're really killing it at, because you feel like you're providing for your kids, so you're killing it. They eat, the lights on, they got toys, they got their games. They don't want for nothing. How many people say that about your kids? My kids don't want for nothing. Drop a one in the comments if you've ever said that. My kids don't want for nothing. But a lot of y'all kids are actually wanting for something. You know what a lot of our kids are wanting for? Discipline. My kids don't want discipline. Yeah, they do. Because when they get older, they're going to look at you and say, you didn't teach me this. You didn't instill this in me. You didn't hold me accountable to this. You wanted to be my friend. I didn't have a mom. I had a friend. I've heard that so many times. Oh my God. I didn't have a mom. I had a friend. Who? And so I want you to ask yourself these two questions. Number one, this is a yes or no. Do you have time scheduled? Ooh, in my business today. Okay. Do you have time scheduled with no phone and your kids on your schedule right now? Some of y'all don't say yes because you ain't even wrote out your schedule. Your schedule ain't even filled in. Yeah, I got time. No, you don't. Your schedule ain't even completed. Do you have time? And this is for me right here, okay? This is a big one for me. You can't have your phone because you want to take pictures. I'm just gonna have my phone right here so I can take pictures. I'm just gonna get a little video real quick and then I'll put my phone away. Oh my God, they so cute. They cute without your camera. They still won't be cute after you put your camera down. So do you have, and then that goes back to marriage, because do you take your phone to date night? And I don't care if your husband takes his phone to date night. You can literally set the tone. So, and some of y'all have older kids. When you guys have time together, do you take their phone away, or do you tell them put their phone away so that you guys actually just have family time? Is that even a thing? 2, that's conviction for me. I could do so much better for that. I'm not even gonna lie. So yes or no? And then, are you willing to do it this week? Can you give your kids an hour? I mean, maybe if you're not ready for an hour, can you give them 30 minutes? 30 minutes. Can you give them 30 minutes? So this week, I want y'all to schedule 30 minutes to an hour a day with just your kids and no phone. Whoo, y'all be like, so y'all just want me to look at them like electronics? Like you can play a game with them. Like you can do whatever. Do what they want to do. Do what they want to do. Can you do what your kids want to do for 30 minutes? For an hour? Who committed to that? Drop a 1 in the comments if you just committed to that. Not for the gram, but for your health. The health and state of your family. Not for you to post, but just to have real life behind closed doors, a healthy family. I want to jump back up to nutrition. How many days this week are you going to cook for your family, or will you meal plan? Because some of y'all got life goals, right? My goal in life is to have dinner on the table every day for my family. I cannot wait. But then you get the opportunity and you get the family and there's no dinner. And that takes me back to the fitness, feeling like you need an hour to cook dinner. It ain't got to be Sunday dinner. That's normally unhealthy anyway, every single day. Your kids can eat macaroni and hot dogs. I'm just saying, they be liking stuff like that. And you can actually make it from scratch, so it's actually good. Buy the hot dogs with no nitrates. Y'all probably like, nitrates? What's that? They do cost a little more, you know what I'm saying? But buy the hot dogs with no nitrates and make your macaroni and cheese. It's real easy, you know what I'm saying? Anybody know how to make homemade macaroni? Not baked macaroni that's got canned milk in it and stuff. We ain't talking about that. We talking about just on the stove. Season it with salt and pepper. How many days a week are you going to cook for your family, or will you meal plan? I'm gonna tell y'all a tip for me that I do is I'll cook on one day and then I'll put them in containers so that my kids have food. And then what I'll do is if I'm feeling up to it, I will cook on a certain day. So they have food regardless of whether I feel up to it or not. You can do this for lunch too. You can do it for lunch too. Does this take innovation? Yes. But I'll tell you this, let your kids help you with the menu. How many of y'all do family meal plans? Hey guys, what you think you want to eat this week? So instead of just going to the store and just buying random stuff, buy with intention. I got 2 heads of cabbage. I got 2 things of pasta. I got 4 sauces. So we're going to have spaghetti. I'm going to make double the amount of spaghetti and cabbage. That'll be 1 meal. And then I'm going to make rice with onions and chicken. And that'll be the other meal. I'm going to make chicken noodle soup from scratch. And that's the other meal. They're set. Now, in between, if I'm feeling froggy, we'll jump. But it'll be because I'm feeling froggy, not because I don't have no other option. Yeah. All right. So I want to tell y'all this, and then we're going to close this out. Hopefully, okay. How many people have looked over this list like, Lord, help me get it together? Drop a 1 in the comments if you feel that. Like, Lord, help me. Lord, oh, Jesus, I need your help. Lord, I need your help. Woo! Like, in all honesty, like, I do. It's me. I want to tell you guys the story, and it's crazy because Joel Osteen talked about it. I've actually heard it several times. And somebody can drop in the comments the actual scripture context so you can go and read it for yourself. But the woman at the well, and it's so crazy. It's like a full circle moment, because back when I was doing God knows what, we had a youth service, and I was given the woman at the well to talk about. And when I talked about it, when I was presenting it to the church, and still in my scaled world, like where the scales were over my eyes, and so I didn't really see the word very clearly. I saw that woman at the well as being checked. Like when Jesus was saying those things to her, he was checking her, right? But God is not that kind of God. He's so gentle. He's so loving. He's not judgmental. He just desires for you to be better and actually reach the full potential that you desire to feel. And so I was looking at it in such a negative way, like, Jesus, yes, I am a hot mess. But this woman at the well, she wanted water. She needed water. She was a ratchet, straight up ratchet, y'all, out here, head down. Like she was ratchet. Y'all know that song? Okay, if you don't know, it's okay. I'm glad you don't know. She was ratchet. And so she was coming at a certain time. She had to get some water. Lord help me. But she was coming at a time in life, a certain time of day, because she wanted to avoid everybody else, because everybody else knew she was a ratchet, right? And so she comes at this, it's hot, to come and get her water. And Jesus comes, he sends his disciples off. He knew what was up, right? He knew. And so he came and was like, yo, let me get some water. And she's like, why are you talking to me? Like, you're a Jew, I'm a Gentile, or Samaritan. She was a Samaritan, excuse me. We not cool. Like, we don't ask me for, like, this is not okay. It's unacceptable. But God knew exactly what he was doing, and he was doing it with such heart and compassion. But like Joel Osteen said, you have to be willing to be honest. And so when he started to ask her these questions, y'all, there's so many barriers up. The barrier was, we're not cool. We're different races and we don't like each other. Number two, who are you? Like, and why do you know my business, or feel like you know my business, or why are you even all up in my business? So take the time to read it. But he was like, yo, you got 5, you right? He like, hey, go get your husband. And she like, really? Like, really? You want me to go get my husband? And he like, yeah, you right. Like, bro, you got 5. And she like, Jesus, why do you know my business? Like, what's going on? And so some of y'all may have felt in this moment that, why are you in my business? Did anybody feel like that? Just be honest. Number 2, drop a 2 in the comments if you felt like that. Like, Rachel, why are you in my business though? Like, why are you all in my business? Like, I came here to make some extra coins. Nonetheless, the coins will be gone because we didn't evaluate my business, but why are you in my business? That's how she felt. But she decided to let those walls down and just listen. She decided to let those walls down and allow him to be her living water. So that she could change and become who God always called her to be. How many of y'all know for sure that you're not where you're supposed to be? Like, you know, God has more for you. Like, you know, you're not where you're supposed to be. That is my prayer during this series, that you begin to let that veil down and completely drop it. Because at that moment, I'm sure she felt free. Like, this dude got me. Like, so he has you, but you got to be willing to be honest about where you are and allow him to take you to where you're going. Okay. Allow him to take you where you're going. So your homework for the week is to go through and do the things, the diary, the implementation, the different thing. I want you to go through your bank account. Like, go do it, y'all. If you know you're not a disciplined person, then do it today. Do it as soon as we hop off of here. Like, give yourself a little 30-minute window and do it before you go about your day. Like, take the time. And if you feel overwhelmed, I want you to go in the e-suite and buy you some Confianza today. Because some of y'all probably need to take, I probably should have told y'all to take some Confianza before hopping on here. So next week, take some Confianza before you hop on here, because I want us to be free. Like, I want us to feel whole when we walk into the abundance that God is giving you. Like, I want you to feel whole when you're going to people about the business and about the products, where you're not concerned about their yes or no. I want you to not be concerned about their yes or no. I want you to be confident in what this business is going to do for your life. Okay, so I'm gonna pray. We're gonna hop off here. Guys, there is an opportunity Zoom at noon today, here on noon Central Standard Time on this code. So bring everybody that you want to make $1 million with you. Bring them to this call at noon. We do have an open office as well from 3 to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, where you can come on here and get some work done in a charged atmosphere and community. Okay, so we're gonna pray real quick, and it's gonna be great. Okay, who's excited to be free? Be excited. We're gonna do it together. We're gonna do this together. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we just love you. We thank you. We honor you. We're just grateful for the walls coming down. Okay, God, thank you for checking us and just us not being fearful of looking at where we are, and just being honest with where we are and who we are, so that you can take us to where you've always designed for us to be. God, we just thank you for the space to be honest with ourselves and not feel embarrassed about where we are, or where we've even, the choices that we've made have caused us to be. God, I just even pray supernatural debt cancellation over this crew, God. God, we thank you for the supernatural debt cancellation. We thank you for the supernatural debt cancellation. We thank you for the mind to be focused on bettering our life and going forth to get the freedom that you desire for us financially, in our relationships, God, within our parenthood, in our nutrition, in our fitness, God, these different areas of our life, even strengthening our relationship with you. We're just grateful for what you're about to do for us over these next few weeks. And we're grateful that you have placed us in a position that where we can become our whole self with you at the forefront, touching us in places that we didn't even know that we need to be touched. So we praise you and we adore you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.